Well, for more on our top story around Eskom and those wage talks, we cross live to our reporter Mbongeni Muthwa, who's at Woodmead. Thanks very much, Mbongeni. What's the latest on the talks?
Well, Nambu, these, of course, are wage negotiations. Wage negotiations, by their nature, are very contested, long, drawn-out affairs, characterized by snags all the way. And so here we are, the first day of the resumption of these talks. First snag. They started this morning with the house rules and everything, and then we had that official from Minister Gordhan's office briefing the negotiators, doing a presentation about what came out of that meeting with the minister last Friday with the unions. And then when they are about to begin, the unions raised an objection. They pointed out that at the meeting with the minister on Friday evening, an undertaking was made that Eskom would send a high-powered delegation, people with authority to take decisions. They want board members, 2 or 3, to be present here. They also want what they call senior managers from Eskom. So that means like that could be the CEO, CFO. I mean, that's who they want to be here. So they say an undertaking was given on Friday evening, and here we are. They don't see any of those people present. Eskom then requested the caucus to try and figure this out, how to move forward. And it's been an hour now since they broke for Eskom to have that caucus. They've come to have lunch now at a different building, and we also saw some of the Eskom people also walking in for lunch. Right now I'm joined by Pyramid, who will be the spokesperson of NUMSA, to talk to us more about what has transpired so far. This issue of a high-powered delegation from the employer, board members, unprecedented. Why are you insisting on that?
I think first of all, as you said in your introduction, you did say that negotiations are long and drawn-out processes. Snags are things that occur regularly. What we want as trade unions is we want people who are in a position to deliver on the mandate or to make decisions. That's effectively all we're saying, is that the people who are present must have the power to make decisions.
Are you saying that the people who are present here today don't have the power to make decisions?
All I can say is that we are in the midst of wage talks. This is an ongoing discussion, and what we have agreed to do as unions is that we will communicate the outcome thereof. We're not going to engage on the details of the back and forth that may or may not be taking place behind the scenes.
I get you. So how would you characterize your mood right now as the unions halfway through the first day of the resumption? Does the spirit of the meeting with the Minister Gordhan on Friday, does that hold for you? How do you feel right now?
Well, you know, how we feel right now is subject to change depending on what it is that's being discussed at the point of the discussion. This is why we don't like discussing wage talks as they are underway, because things change. Things can change within minutes, and it's not worthwhile to make a big deal based on how people are feeling at that moment. For us, what's really important is how will this day end? Will we walk out of this place with an agreement in place, for example? That is ultimately the question, and that is the question that our members, more than anything, will want answered. So for us, our focus is to try and get a resolution, to try and meet each other, to try and engage meaningfully, and that is what we will be doing today.
Lastly, if we can let us in on the schedule for the current round now. Do we have a schedule that you are set to meet on over so many days and so on and so on? Like, do you have any idea how long we are looking towards a conclusion of this?
Well, that's a bit complicated to answer at this point, because you'll remember that the NUM is in the middle. In fact, tomorrow they're going to start their elective congress, and that's a pretty big deal for them. The majority of their delegation will actually be tied up in that congress. So right now, I'm not able to tell you whether we will be proceeding tomorrow if we don't find agreement today. I think that's something that we still actually have to finalize in the discussions today. Certainly, we are hoping to walk away from today having resolved. But with regards to what will happen over the next coming days, we'll only really be able to communicate that in detail at the end of today's discussion.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, that's all the time we have for now. Of course, we're keeping a watch here and our ear on the ground. As soon as there is any new developments, we will let you know.
Thanks very much, Mbongeni Muthwa, reporting there on the Eskom wage discussions. The manufacturer